Okay guys, today we have our grandmaster Jean. We have only one build for her. She's a DPS, but she's also healing, which is definitely interesting attribution that Hoyoverse gave her. So we will start with weapons as always. I'm going to try her build with a physical damage bonus weapon and physical goblet, so purely physical build, but you can also go with any of the crit weapons. I mean, not just any of them. There are some weapons that will definitely suit better, but we have also Aquila Favonia, which I still didn't get, and Missplitter. I think Missplitter would be okay option. When it comes to 4 stars, well, there are many options too, but with the crit, I don't think so. You have battle pass weapons with crit, but I think that we don't have any of these craftable or weapons that you pull which are going to be with crit rate or crit damage. But hey, you can go with the attack in the main stat as well, because she's scaling from attack. But hey, I'm trying out physical build and you can go for that one as well. If you don't agree with me, you have crit damage or crit rate weapon that is 5 star, so you can go for that one as well. Next, we are going to talk about artifacts. Now, as I said, I'm going full physical build and I'm using 2 Pale Flame and 2 Bloodstain. So I'm missing one artifact, but basically I'm going attack, physical and crit. If you're going to try this build, you can join me definitely, and I do believe that it is, as we are talking about DPS builds, that it is much better to go with physical one, just because your skill has cooldown of how many seconds? Cooldown 6 seconds, so to go for the Animo on this one, I don't think it's worth it, because if you're going to use your Jean and try out her damage, then definitely double physical I think should work wonderfully. And if you're going with Viridescent or something else, well, as you can see, people do go with the double artifacts with plus 18 attack, and they also go, yeah, there are some people, 70% of people who use 4-piece Viridescent for some reason, and Jean is more DPS or maybe just healer than she's support, so I don't really understand why do people use Viridescent. I mean, I personally don't see Jean as support, except if you are putting healers as supports as well, but you can go double Animo if you really want, or you can go double 18 plus attack, and there's this option, double physical, as I'm going with. Now, talents. Just because she is DPS and just because all of these are giving you some percentage of damage, you will want to go 999, just as I have her here. And when it comes to burst, from which you are getting healing, well, you will want to try to get as much attack as possible in your substats in artifacts, so pay attention to that one as well. If you think that you will need that much healing, there's possibility that you are maybe not even going to need that much healing, or maybe you are going to use double healer in a team and you will not need it. Try to build her as it pleases you with her healing. Her damage, well, it depends which artifacts you used and which weapons do you have. And she has some interesting passive talents. We are going to talk about the second one firstly because it's much easier. After she uses her burst, she regenerates 20% of energy back, which is amazing, definitely, because her burst is 80, so it's basically 60 in the end, which definitely is going to help you if you have some troubles with some boss enemies that have too much HP. So this is definitely going to come in handy. Also, because of the high cost of burst, you need to pay attention to energy recharge as well, but not that much. And the first passive talent gives you option to heal with your Gene. You have 50% chance to regenerate HP. And this is why I said that you need to pay attention to the attack when it comes to Gene. 15% of Gene's attack is going to be affected for this healing. And if you have, let me see, I have over 1200, so it's almost 200 healing every time she attacks. It's not that much, but also it's going to help because she is healing absolutely everyone. So it's not that bad as a passive talent, but hey, you need to pay attention to the attack in these substats. And now for the last, as always, we have Constellations. And by the way, I'm missing only one to have C6 Gene, and then it would mean that she is third character that I have C6 when it comes to 5 stars. So that would be amazing to try out, and after we talk about all constellations, we would see if it is even worth it. So starting with the first constellation, when you are using her skill, if you are holding it, and it says more than 1 second, but hey, after it is activated that you're holding it, practically 1 second already passed, so you get increased damage by 40% to her skill, which could help out, but if you didn't build her especially just for the animo damage, then I think it's not going to be a big change in numbers. So C1 is kinda 50-50, you don't even need to worry about it that much. C2 is nice because if Jean picks up orbs, then all party members have increased movement and attack speed by 15%. That is something that is going to be good for some DPSs after you use your Gene, because there are some characters that need more attack speed. Let's say Arlecchino should probably benefit from this, but just because of too many other things that Gene isn't providing, she would not be that good as a support for Arlecchino, but this constellation specifically is definitely going to benefit someone like her. Then C4, something definitely really interesting. All opponents within the field of her burst are having animo resistance decreased by 40%. If it was, let's say, for all elements or for the elements that are swirled, then let's say 4-piece viridescent would make sense. Now, because it is only animo resistance that is decreased, viridescent set doesn't make sense, and that's why I said that you should use any other option that is available. Specifically, only animo resistance is decreased, which is going to help only few characters if you combine your Gene with them. And C6 is definitely something interesting, and it should definitely help when it comes to dealing with some new bosses which have much more HP and which are dealing much more damage. So the incoming attacks are decreased by 35%, I mean damage from the attacks. And also you have another option: after you leave the field, you get hit 3 times, or it is lasting 10 seconds after you leave it. So that's definitely helpful because her burst has cooldown of 20 seconds. I just went to check it out, and it seems that her burst is 11 seconds long, so it means you have 100% of uptime for this boost for the incoming damage that is going to be decreased, which is going to help in many battles with new enemies, especially with ones that are dealing like over 20k damage and something ridiculous like that. So yeah, C6 is definitely amazing constellation. As every time, we have only one more thing to talk about, and it is going to be teams. Okay, I'm building Jean as physical DPS, so it means that Mika is going to be someone who is going to be able to help me And then we have, let's say, Shenhe. She's going to boost normal attack, she's going to boost skill, she's going to boost burst, she can boost absolutely everything.
I just have to stand here, right?
And she is someone who is going to use that cryo a little bit more often than Mika. And then we can put, let's say, Lisa. Lisa is decreasing defense on enemies while her burst is hitting them, and she will definitely provide us with the superconduct in this team, so she is going to help us a lot in this situation. Yes, we have too many other options. Let's say Bennett is boosting attack and Jean is going to benefit from that, and instead of Shenhe this time, then we can put, I don't know, we can now put Lisa to try somehow these two in combination, but that superconduct is not going to last that long, which is not that good. And then it brings up that we can switch Mika back to Shenhe. There's just so many options when it comes to Jean teams, because hey, Zhongli is boosting everyone, right? Yes. Shilonen is now decreasing resistance on absolutely everything and absolutely everyone, so that's option as well. When it comes to some other characters from the Electro element, you can use Cookie like a healer and booster because of tenacity. You can use Fischl the same way, and you can use Beidou, but it is going to be just for the superconduct to stay activated all the time. Then you have Yunjin, who is going to boost your normal attack, which is also helpful, but in the end I'm not even really sure which team is going to be the best one for Jean. When I have build on her and the other supports, I'm going to try it out and we are going to make a video about it. But as it is for now, there are too many options which are, I would say, so close to how much damage are they going to provide to Jean. So I'm not really sure which one would be the best option in the end. If you did build team around Jean and it is working perfectly, leave it in the comments. I really want to see it and try it out when I get one more Pale Flame artifact, which would in the end allow me to try out Jean's damage, and we will just see how good or maybe how bad she is after 4 years of this game. Alright everyone, that's going to be absolutely everything on Jean's guide. If you have any suggestions when it comes to, let's say, her team or something else, artifacts or weapons, as I said, leave it in the comments. I would really like to see it. And maybe I'm going to even improve my Jean by listening to you guys, so definitely leave a comment and I will see you in the next guide.